Hello, everybody. A few years ago, I was in Europe, and I was there with people I knew. We had a tight schedule. We knew exactly what we were doing. And one of my favorite stories that my teacher was telling me while I was in Europe was he was talking about a threshold and where we got the word. A threshold is the bottom of a doorway. So every time you cross through a doorway, you're stepping through a threshold. Well, fast forward a few years, I booked a ticket to Costa Rica. The thing that was different about Costa Rica was I didn't know anybody that I was traveling with. I didn't even really know where in Costa Rica I was going. I didn't know the people. I didn't know the culture. I was virtually stepping into something that I was completely unfamiliar with. And what happened was I ended up on this beach called Nancite. And this beach was very natural, a very natural beach. So I was living in this concrete hut, basically. We didn't have windows, we had mesh. So for, like, if you were getting dressed, like, you had to be aware of who was around, things like that. We had to tuck our mosquito nets in really tightly, not necessarily because of the mosquitoes, the scorpions. That's what you had to worry about. The doors were so flimsy that if, a big crab pushed against it, a crab could get into your room with you. So it was very basic compared to what I'm used to having grown up in Cedar City, Utah. And even at night, we lit candles. Some of the first people I met while I was there were 3 Costa Ricans and a Colombian. And we were kind of all in the same boat. Didn't speak the same language, didn't have the same cultures, but I was put in their culture. So it was kind of upon me to embrace and learn what I could from these people. And they started to teach me this love for sea turtles. That's what I was there for. I was there learning about sea turtles. So during the day, we would dig up these nests and find these beautiful little sea turtles just all huddled together trying to escape this nest. And we'd dig it up to make sure everybody would get out alive because it's a group effort. If one person gets left behind, that's the end. So we'd dig all these little babies up, and it's incredible how fragile these little baby sea turtles are. You felt like you could crush them if you held them too tightly. And we'd gather them up, and we'd put them in a little bucket, and then we would go on the beach, and we would set the bucket down and tip it over and let these little sea turtles cross the beach. And these little sea turtles would just flap as fast as they could to get across this beach, trying to escape into the sea that would be their home. During the night, we would actually get to interact with their mothers, which was an exciting feat as well, also extremely tiring. We would trudge along the beach back and forth for 4 hours, 6 hours, kind of depended. And sometimes, if we were lucky enough, we would come across this beautiful turtle climbing up on the beach, getting ready to lay her eggs. And we'd get down and be able to count the eggs, be right there, be able to touch her, to see her, leaving this mark on the earth that we hope to keep going, survive, keep the sea turtle population moving. And that's what these Costa Ricans shared with me, this passion, this love. And I loved it. I couldn't believe that I had found something that I was truly, truly passionate for by taking a risk, taking a chance in the dark, something that I was not particularly used to. I was able to step into a new culture, see some new people, see some new things, and find my place, something I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. So, what I'd like to encourage here tonight is I'd like to encourage everybody to cross that threshold, step into that new room, see what you can do. That pretty girl that you've been scared to ask out on a date, dare to ask her out. I encourage you. That club you thought you may have been too inadequate to join it, go for it. That book you've been wanting to write since middle school, start it, see where you can get. Because you don't have to travel to a new country. You don't have to travel even out of the state. I'm encouraging all of you to travel out of your comfort zone. Thank you.